Welcome back. It's back to court this morning for a former Houston police officer, Gerald Goines. He was found guilty in the murders of Dennis Tuttle and Regina Nicholas during a botched raid back in 2019.
And the sentencing phase was cut short last week after Goines suffered a medical emergency. KPRC2 investigative reporter Mario Diaz is live downtown Houston. Mario, what is the courtroom like this morning? Have you seen Goines?
I did see Goines. He was surrounded by multiple members of the sheriff's office, and they did eventually conclude the closing arguments by the state. They just wrapped up here in the last 5 minutes. Very, very powerful closing by Tanisha Manning and Keaton Fort, the two lead prosecutors here on this conviction of Gerald Goines. Tanisha at one point saying to the jury, "This is the worst case of an abuse of a badge that Harris County has ever seen." Then your partner, Keaton Fort, came in and closed the second half of their presentation, and he said, "That man should strike a fear in every single one of us," calling Gerald Goines at one point, quote, "a tyrant." I want to bring in Goines now. He is one of our experts here throughout the bench. Gerald Goines, your thoughts on the closing by the state?
The state just absolutely nailed it. Both of them brought their own distinct personalities today, and really, Tanisha Manning was much more in your face, pointing at Gerald Goines many times throughout her closing argument, and Keaton Forrest kind of elevated it into this philosophical, really big picture, eloquent argument.
Yeah, it was intriguing because as we were watching this, it appeared as if as Tanisha Manning's closing was to be directed at him and really go after Gerald Goines in front of the jury, where Keaton came back and wanted to present it to the jury, if that makes sense.
Yeah, he made it.
One played good cop, bad cop.
Right. She kind of reminded the jury about all the terrible things that they have heard about Gerald Goines, and Keaton did more of a, hey, this is all of us, now it's our turn to kind of return the favor to him and bring it all full circle.
They made it seem as if Gerald Goines is a con man. They called him, quote, a masquerade. Throughout the entire proceeding, and on Keaton's side, your perspective as to reminding the jury what they tried to do here during the course of the trial, according to the prosecutor.
Right, well, one thing that Keaton focused on was the 9 different search warrants that they presented to the jury that Gerald Goines lied in. And he stopped one step shy of saying the 9 search warrants that we know about that he's lied about. And it's the same lie over and over again.
They ask for life, and you can't get up to 99 years. Mind you, 99 years in this case means they have to serve at least half, which would make him obviously be a life sentence for Gerald Goines. What do you anticipate from this jury in terms of how quickly they might come back in this verdict?
I think they'll come back quickly. 1, because their guilty verdict was quick. 2, because they heard everything from the defense last week. Today, all they heard was from the state. And they also had that extra 4 or 5 days to make up their mind. So I think they're pretty much there.
All right, Goines joining us once again, criminal defense attorney based here in Houston, one of our legal analysts throughout the course of the bench at Gerald Goines. We, of course, will be following developments as they happen here at the courthouse throughout the course of this day. I will tell you, as Gerald Goines was being walked away in shackles after this presentation, he had one thing in his hand. It appeared to be the Bible. That's the very latest from down here at the courthouse. Mario Diaz, KPRC2 News.
Mario, thank you. This is something we will continue to watch throughout the day.